Hi, and welcome to our AVID introduction presentation. My name is Patty Grant, and I'm the AVID coordinator at Andover High School. And I'm going to go over some information today to teach you a little bit more about our program. So, obviously, with our current distance learning and social distancing situation, we are unable to have our in-person meeting, which we normally have a parent-student in-person meeting at school where we can go through some information and then you're able to ask questions and get some answers. So unfortunately, we're unable to do that at this time, but just know that with any questions that arise, feel free to reach out and we'll get you that information as soon as possible. Also, the application is typically in a paper form, but we have shifted because of our circumstances into a Google form that you also receive. So we'll go over a little bit of that and hopefully answer all of your questions that you might have after receiving the application and the letter. So just some introductions that we normally would do in our in-person. Like I said, my name is Patty Grant and I'm the AVID coordinator, but I also teach our AVID 10 elective section. We have Ann Van Geem, who teaches our AVID 12. We have Janelle Schifferly, who teaches our AVID 11. Tiffany Johnson, who teaches our AVID 9. And then Joan Angel is our AVID counselor. And Courtney Pekarsky is our AVID assistant principal. So those people would also be at our meeting typically. So just to kind of let you know who is a part of our program and who's working with our students on a daily basis. So you might ask, what is AVID and what is it about? So I'm just going to highlight a few things. And then as we go through this presentation, I'm going to go into more detail with a variety of these things. So we look at helping students with study skills, note taking, how to take notes in a class, organization. We really work with students on how to be organized, organizing all of their courses. This program helps students take upper level classes and achieve, at a high level in those upper level classes. And we want them to be successful in all of their classes. So AVID is actually a class that is helping them navigate what they need for all of their classes at each trimester. We also visit colleges. We do a variety of college visits throughout the school year. We go to 4-year schools, 2-year schools, technical schools, just a variety of options for students because we know not everybody is the same and we know that everybody needs to find what's best for them. As they get older, we navigate the college application process with them and go through what needs to be done, how they're going to apply to college, how they're going to get accepted to college, how they're going to go through college scholarships, and that. The big thing about AVID too is this is just part of our regular school day. This isn't an after school program or a before school program. All of these things take part within the school day during their AVID elective course. Just a lot of experiences that we talked about, kind of some college visits. We also just really work on team building, how to be a good citizen, just finding their place and teaching them leadership. We attend leadership conferences and just show them how they can really strive to be the best person that they can be. So just kind of some of that. So who does this target? Why, what kind of student are we actually looking for? So we're looking for a student who has a really strong desire to go to college. That's a goal that they have. They want something post-secondary. They want something after high school. We're looking for students who possibly, they've done well in regular level classes, but maybe they haven't pushed themselves to take advanced placement classes or honors courses. But they could with a little extra support and a little push. And so that's what we expect our students to take, at least one or multiple upper level courses. And then we're there to kind of help them. Just kind of to our Andover program, it does sometimes look different than the national program. we fit it to what our students need. And the national program and some of our sister schools, our program might look a little bit different because we're doing what's best for our Andover High School students. So again, kind of just going on with some of the things of, who are we looking for? We're looking for a student that could benefit from kind of some structure support. So, structural support, somebody who is helping them take notes in all of their classes, having them be organized, somebody checking in on them. Hey, are you doing this? Did you turn this assignment in? Did you, how are you taking notes in this class? And just something where we can kind of be that extra support to push them to go to the next level. They may be doing well in those regular classes, but we want to push them to take those higher level classes. So we want you to celebrate that we've asked for your student to apply if you feel that this is right for you. And we'll kind of talk about that in the end as we go through this. And this might be a good program for your student, and it might not be a good fit for your student, but just celebrate that, we're asking you to apply. It's if it's not the right fit, then that's fine, you don't have to. But one thing that we want to be really clear is what this program is not. And it is not like a remediation program, and it is not a behavioral program. So those are not the things that we're looking to fix. These are students who are managing regular classes and succeeding in that, and we want to push them to the next level. So, what does it look like for a student in an AVID elective class? Some of the things that we really focus on and we really push in our AVID class is just a daily connection with an AVID teacher. So, when you are in high school, you're moving around and you're working with a variety of teachers. In our AVID program, each year you will have the same AVID teacher that you will connect with every single day throughout that school year. So it's somebody that you can go to, that you can trust, somebody who's going to know you and know, where you're at with that. Structured note taking. So we teach the students how to take Cornell notes and some other varieties of note taking, different strategies within that, but we really are helping them to get ready to take notes, as when they get to college they're going to need to know how to take notes in a lot of their classes. So we're trying to start that early so that it's second nature by the time they get there. Organized binders. An AVID student has a binder, and that binder is checked weekly just to make sure that they have notes from each class, that they're going through and being organized with their assignments and their tests and their quizzes. So that binder, it can be a physical binder or it can be an electronic binder. And we'll get to that with Chromebooks a little bit later, but it can be an electronic binder or an actual physical binder. Tutorials. We have tutorials twice a week, and those tutorials are led by adults who come into our classroom. They have small groups, and those small group of students work through questions that they have for each of their classes. So a tutorial group might be working on chemistry one day. You have 6 kids, and they're working through some chemistry problems. Or another day, there might be a group of 7 kids who are working through some geometry questions. So those tutorials take place twice a week within the AVID classroom. So again, this isn't a before school or after school. This is a during the school day within our classroom. They're getting college information from the start of their freshman year. So we are taking even our freshmen on college campuses. We're bringing in speakers. We're doing team building. It's all related to kind of college information that they're getting as soon as possible so they can make educated decisions by their junior and senior year. And we're looking at just best practice ways to kind of work with kids and help them. So what I had talked about before, the AVID binder. And within that too, each AVID student gets a Chromebook. So obviously with this distance learning, everybody at this point was getting a Chromebook. Our AVID students that we had, they already had a Chromebook. They were issued a Chromebook at the beginning of the school year. That was their Chromebook to take home, bring to school, and use in all of their classes. So, I don't know what the future will look like with that, but you would know that if you had an AVID student, they would have a Chromebook and it would be issued to them, and they would be able to use that at home, at school, and do all the things that they need to do with that. So with where we're at right now, that's what we know with Chromebooks, and we know that no matter what the district decides in the future, that our AVID students will always have a Chromebook that is issued to them. So you might think, what does an AVID student's schedule look like from ninth grade to 12th grade? So we have kind of a sample of the path of what an AVID student's schedule would look like. And you can see, so in our ninth grade year, you would have your honors English, you'd have your honors English, you'd have your science class, you'd have all these classes that you need, but then you would have that AVID 9A elective class, and that's the class where we would go through a lot of these strategies, and that's where you would have your check-ins, and you'd be working with your AVID teacher on what you need and how you need to be successful. You'd still have one elective left in that schedule to use however you would like. So again, like we said, AVID students are pushed to take upper level classes and honors classes and AP classes, and you can take multiple. But in our ninth grade year, our AVID teacher, Tiffany Johnson, teaches ninth grade honors English. And so then those AVID students would have a hybrid class that is our AVID 9 and our honors English 9 course. So we're pushing those students to take an upper level class, but take it with a teacher who's going to support them through it. And they're given 2 tries to complete that honors course instead of just 1, because of those AVID strategies that are going to be put in place during that time. So that's just kind of a sample of what it would look like. 10th grade looks very similar. Same concept. You have in Try 1, you have your AVID 10A elective, where you would have your AVID 10 teacher, which would be me, and then you have an extra elective in there, again, that you can use however you would like. And then in Try 2 and 3, you would have that honors English class, and you would have that hybrid with our AVID section again. And again, having that support system on what do you need and how can you be successful. So moving on to 11th grade, it's a little bit different. 11th grade, your junior year, is a big year with planning and understanding what you need for college and planning out the things that you want to do and how you want to navigate that process. So our 11th grade year is just an AVID elective all 3 trimesters. And then what we do is we give you the choice now. You have the requirement, and we have students who take multiple, but the requirement would be that that student would have to take a minimum of 1 upper level course. That's honors, AP, CIS, all of those different choices. You can see as in your 11th grade year, your electives open up and you have more electives for that choice. So, your AVID would be in there as an elective, but then you still have 3 additional electives that you would be able to take at that time. So that's kind of what our 11th grade year would look like. Now, our 12th grade year, we start off with, going full speed ahead in that Try 1, and we're figuring out where students want to apply and hopefully getting acceptance letters, and then moving on to scholarship applications. So you can see that by Try 3 of our senior year, we open up an elective to you again, and we give kind of that elective back to you, as by the end of our Try 2, our hope is that 100% of our AVID students have applied and been accepted to some kind of college, some kind of post-secondary opportunity that they have put forth. So again, by the end of Try 1, the majority of our AVID students have applied and been accepted into some college. And Try 2 is really focusing on college applications and looking through some of that to get different scholarships and funds for that. So you might say, well, the schedule looks great, but we already filled out our registration and we already signed up for some electives. So with that being said, if you, after this presentation, after you read through everything, you feel like, hey, this is actually maybe a pretty good fit for our student, then in the application, it actually asks what elective you would possibly be interested in taking at a different time, instead of taking it, Try 1 in your ninth grade year. So Joan Angel, our AVID counselor, she'll take care of all the necessary schedule changes that you need. So, you don't need to worry about that. If you have specific scheduling questions, you can contact her, and her email is on there as well. So she's kind of the scheduling expert. But if you have questions, you can reach out to me as well with that. So I guess the question that I had talked about a little bit earlier is that, you and your student need to decide, is this a good fit for us or isn't it? And if it is, awesome. Then, we'd love for you to apply, and we'd love to look at your application and possibly have you be a part of this program. You might have listened to this and went through this, and you might say, "Oh, I don't know, that doesn't actually sound like a good fit," and that's okay. We're just looking for students who we believe this is a good fit, and we want to just tell you what our program is about. So think about if these things kind of describe, you or your student, depending on who's watching, seems to know and understands the material in class, but lacks the organization to get things turned in. So maybe, your backpack is a mess and, or your student's backpack is a mess and they don't know what anything is. Maybe they did an assignment 2 weeks ago, but they just didn't turn it in. That might be a good fit for your student in this program. Maybe has missing assignments, but still tends to do well on assessments. We're looking at students that we think um, can push themselves a little bit harder. That they know the material and they know the questions on tests and quizzes, but they maybe their grades don't show the how knowledgeable they actually are. Maybe your student would benefit from added support at school to just help them be successful in upper level classes. Having that extra teacher who's there all year long that they can go to, that they can talk to. And then finally, navigating the college search, if depending on, where they fall, and if you think that having that college search and that college application process would be really nice to have somebody helping navigate that for you and your family, then maybe this is the right fit for you. So again, hopefully this gave you some information and helped you kind of understand our program and the kind of students that we're looking for. We hope that if you felt like during that information that this was a good fit for you or your student, then we hope you apply, and we will go through those applications and look at who would be a good fit for us. If you've looked through this and you felt like, that's not really a good fit for us, that's okay. We wish you well, and we can't wait to see you when you get to Andover High School anyways. So, but if it is a good fit, application is in that Google form. So that should have been emailed to you. You should have received that. Your student does need to log in to take that survey. So just use that Chromebook that you have. Everybody should have one now with our current situation. And they can just log in and they can click on that link and take care of that survey. Those surveys then will be submitted to our team, and our team will go through all of those, and then we'll notify you if you've been accepted in the program. Our timeline is hopefully by the beginning of June. Obviously, with the current situation, everything is kind of up in the air, but our hope is that the beginning of June, before you leave for summer vacation, that you would have the information whether you were accepted into the program or not. We would love for those to be done by May 15th electronically. And as I put in the letter, if for some reason an electronic version is not going to work for you or your family, please just reach out to me and we'll figure out some other way that we can do that. But if you have any questions about any of this, please do not hesitate to reach out. My email is on there, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. So thank you for listening, and I hope you are all well and safe and have a fabulous day.